Hi, good evening, everyone. We are going to look at the recording. This is the Click Right online math class. It's the most interactive math class online where all the students participate and get a chance to learn by God's grace. This evening, we are looking at the different types of angles in geometry and we reviewing the homework and then we'll move on. All right. Um, So we're on question 6 now. All right, so question 6. Let's erase. Everybody took this down. Can I erase? Can I erase?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Joanna, if you're having a problem logging in, if you have another device, you could also log in with that other device as well. All right, so let's go.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so question 6. Question 6. Oh, wrong color. Let's use white. So the two lines are parallel. And please note, they would sometimes put an arrow, meaning that the lines are parallel. Right? So they will sometimes use an arrow, meaning that the lines are parallel. All right, so this is 115. And you know what I like, what I am seeing you all doing that I really appreciate, and you all need to keep it up. You all are giving the reason for your answer. Very important. Very, very important. Okay. Okay, so all they gave us was the 115, and they wanted us to find for P, which is the vertically opposite angle, and Q, which is a corresponding angle. So P corresponds to Q. Everybody agree with that? So whatever P is, we know what Q is. Hello? You all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So to find for P, we're gonna write that P is equal to 115, which is correspond vertically opposite. You all agree with that? Anybody don't agree? Teresa, you agree, right? That it's vertically opposite.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. And Q will also be 115 because this is the top right of this line here. All right, so for this other vertical line, this is also top right. You understand? So you're looking at top right, top right. All right. So they are corresponding, sorry. All right, top right, so they correspond. Whatever you do, I do, correspond. So they are corresponding angles. So number 6 was pretty easy. Everybody, let me see what you all had for that one. Malachi, number 6. Malachi, you had P, and you have corresponding angle for P. Why it's not corresponding, it's vertically opposite, right? So you could just change that, please, with a pencil. Malachi. Malachi, go on, boy. You know I will.
So I changed it already.
Oh, good, good, good. All right, cool. All right, so number 7. Number 7. So let's look at number 7. Just want to draw it over. They had their lines, their parallel lines like this, running like this. Now, every day we have a quiz on directed numbers. Huh? Every time we meet, we have to do a quiz on directed numbers. All right, so this number 7. They had the line going like that. And again, they showed the arrows showing that these two are what? The arrows represent that these two lines are. The two lines are what? Well, open all the mic and tell me now, man.
Parallel too.
Parallel. Parallel. Now, D and 40 is on a straight line. So D is equal to 180 minus 40. That's 140, right? So the D, we could take this off and put 140. Right? But the 140 and the E, so this will be supplementary. When they're on a straight line, it's supplementary. Don't forget that. Once it's on a straight line, it's supplementary. But notice the E and the 140 are also on a straight line. So that will be 180 minus 140.
So,
Yes?
E and 40 is not vertically opposite.
Right. Or so you could either put, so it is either one supplementary or vertically opposite. Correct. Thank you. All right. I write in scribble. All right. So vertically opposite. Let me write that better. So it's at the bottom there. It's kind of hard to write properly. All right. And the E and F, they correspond. E at the bottom of this line here, and the F is at the bottom, right? Correspond mean they're at the same point. On different parallel lines, they're on the same point. So this is corresponding. So F is also 40 degrees, and you're going to put corresponding. Everybody agree with that? So F is equal to 40 degrees because it corresponds. Everybody agree with that? Anybody? All right, so let me look at person's work that they sent. Malachi for number 7. Karis, he had 140. But how? I think you have what? Where right there, Malachi? For 140. Angles on a what? Straight line? That's what you have there? I ain't reading
Yes,
properly.
sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
so right. So angles on a straight line is supplementary. So just add that. Good, 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 good. Straight line means supplementary. Yeah, well, I find people doing the thing really good, man. You're all doing it pretty good. I like that. Gabriel, you did the homework? Were you able to do it? Or you forgot?
Since I forgot. But I do not know, sir.
Oh, you forgot. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to send homework on a Tuesday, the latest on a Tuesday, right? So it will give you all a chance to do the homework. Send it to me. I correct it and send it back to you. All right. So today, I'm going to try to send the homework today. I wouldn't wait until tomorrow. Unless I don't think I have a meeting. All right. Let's move on. Can I skip 8? Or I have to do 8? Anybody had problems with 8? L is supplementary. And then N is corresponds to L. I'm looking at the so this will be 180 minus 110 is 70. So this is 70. This will be 70, the N, because they correspond. 70 on a straight line, so this will be 110. And then it corresponds. This and this correspond. And then this is 70 because it corresponds again. So if you look for corresponding, you could work it really fast. All right? Let's look at number 9. I'm just rushing it through. Anything? All right, let me ask people a question. Let me ask somebody a question. Listen out for this question. Teresa, Which angle corresponds to the 45 degrees? Which one corresponds to 45? And number 9. Which one do you think corresponds to it? Want me to draw it? Let me draw it over. So that is your question. So notice you have, it's a triangle, but what they did with the triangle, they made 2 lines on the triangle be parallel to each other. So this line and this line are parallel. Right? So this is the line cutting them. So the question I have, if this is 45, this is 85, what corresponds to this angle here? What corresponds to that angle? This is D and this is F. So 85, 45, and D, those are angles in a triangle. So we just have to add. So D will be equal to 85 plus 45. That's 0, 8, 12, 130. So D will be 180 minus 130. So I add these two up, 85 and 45, I got 130. And when I subtract them, I get 50. So D is equal to 50 degrees. But my question still remains. What corresponds to the 45?
E. So E.
E, correct. E corresponds. So E is equal to 45 corresponding. Sorry. All right, so it corresponds to the 45, so E is 45. And so what corresponds to F? What corresponds to F? Gabriel.
Say 85.
Huh?
85.
No, you have to look. Notice, Gabriel, that this angle is facing, it's like it's facing this way, like that. But the 85 is an angle facing this way. So they can't correspond. Correspond has to be the exact, looks the same. So on this parallel line, look at the other parallel line, which is this one. Which one is exactly the same? So give another try, Gabriel.
Say E.
Huh?
E.
D. The answer is D. So note that this angle is like that. So D and F, they're very similar. Corresponding means they're similar and equal. So we did find that D, yes?
So the line like in the middle next to the 45 separated them, so it would be like a different thing.
This line here?
No, yeah.
Yeah, that line is a parallel line. It parallel to this line.
All right. Yes.
Right? So since they parallel to each other, let me take off this. If I take off this line, forget about this. Forget about this. This and this correspond. I mean, it forms an angle here, but look the angle here too. They are exactly the same. Very similar. What makes them unique and makes it tricky is this line. All right, so we already knew that D is 50. Notice the direction they are in. So D and F, they correspond. All right, so yes, you have your parallel line. Right? So this is my parallel line here. You have a parallel line here and here. All right? But please note where this is going and where this is going. All right, so D and F are the same. They are the same. All right? They are the same. So they call them corresponding. Once they Once they are the same, they correspond. All right, Gabriel, once they are the same, they correspond. All right, let's look at number 10. Let's look at number 10. So in number 10, let me just use a different, use my white. So this so this line, all right, so we're seeing the parallel lines. So this line is parallel to so this is parallel to this one. And this is parallel with this one, right? So that's important. So the angle at the top, this is X, right? At the top of the parallel line. So you have to look at the top of this parallel line, top, right? So you have to keep your eyes noticing these things, all right? So this is already 55. So I'm going to ask someone, if that is 55, then Malachi, where's the next 55? Malachi, where's the next 55?
So the next 55 is X.
It's X, that's right. All right, Malachi understand these like that. So that's very good. So this is the next 55. So y, Gabriel will be Gabriel. Y would be what?
Y would be like to the left, sir.
Yeah, look y here. Right. So y, notice it's on a straight line. This is my straight line. So what would y be equal to?
Y would be equal to
How much a straight line adds up to?
180 degrees, sir.
Right. Good. So
This is Y would be equal to
if the total line is 180 and this is 50, so you have a line.
180 minus 55.
Correct. All right. 55 and 45 and 88. That's 125, right? 180 minus 55 should give me 125. Right? So we know what y is. So y is 125. And then they ask what was z. What does z correspond to? That question goes to Janicia. What does z, the angle z, correspond to?
55.
55. So z is also 55. So you'll put corresponding. All right, so I think, so this was supplementary straight line.
Sir,
Yeah, Gabriel.
I don't really understand the parts with the supplementary, sir.
But well, you just tell me this one was a straight line, right? Here is it. Right? So if this is 55, remember the line, the straight line is 180. So if part is 55, then it will be 180 minus 55, and that's how I got 125.
All right. Thank you,
But,
sir.
right, you're welcome. So the straight line is 180. That is, whenever you see supplementary, look for a straight line. Once you hear supplementary, look for a straight line. All right, because it's 180 degrees. So supplementary, straight line, so and it's 180. So it's 180 minus 55, which will give me 125. All right. This corresponds. Watch out this one, Gabriel. This is my 55. Looking at corresponding. So here is my 55 on this side, my 55 on this side. So notice where they are. Notice where they are. They are, this is on the left side, L-E-F-T, left of this parallel line. So I have to go to the left of this parallel line. So that's how we look for corresponding. All right, so Z is 55 because it corresponds. So, people, let's just recap, right? This was question 10, but I just want to recap because I think people kind of understand, right? And it getting really easy. So let's recap. We did one. The angles we did, use a different color. The angles we did, angles in a straight line, right? So we said if one is, let's say, 130, then this angle here will be 180 minus 130. All right, so that's 50. Everybody okay with that? So we call the first one we looked at was supplementary angle. The first thing we looked at was supplementary angles. The second set of angles that we looked at, well, which was really easy, was vertically opposite. Vertically opposite is when two lines cross each other. So once you have a line crossing another, the angles are, the opposite angles are called vertically opposite. So if this is, let's say, 35 degrees, then this would be 35 degrees. All right? They are called vertically opposite. And they are equal. Right? Vertically opposite angles are equal. Supplementary, it's on a straight line. So let me put straight line for supplementary because that is where you have to keep looking for the straight line. Straight line. Look for your straight lines. All right? All right, take that down. We have one more. So we looked at supplementary, vertically opposite angles, and corresponding. Now, the corresponding are the tricky ones. So all these questions they're going to continue to give. And of course, you must know that all the angles in a triangle add up to how much again? All the angles in a triangle add up to how much? How much?
In an
180.
equilateral triangle.
180.
180.
All the angles add up to 180 within a triangle. Tri means 3. So you have 3 angles. Quarter means 4. Pent means 5. Hep means 6. Hec means 7. Oct, 8, and so on. All right. So let's go. I hope this is online, so you could always go back to this. So let's move on. So we spoke about the corresponding angles now. Let's see if we could do the corresponding angles.
So which part online it is?
Which what?
Which part online it is?
This class?
Yeah.
It's in
Because it
YouTube.
says go back and it's online. So which part had to go?
Oh, well, this tonight, I will send a YouTube link. You in the same way that you
So when you don't send the link, how it will usually be blue? It'll be blue on WhatsApp.
yeah, it's on WhatsApp and just now, let me see if you in the chat just now. Hold on.
And the chat too, but
You're in the chat, right?
yeah, but when you send the link, I doesn't be able to get to click it because it will be blue.
It is what?
It don't be blue
Oh, that's interesting. And how you log on then?
because I get the code.
Oh, okay. All right. But in the chat, I would send a YouTube link. All right, so let me send it in. I'm sending it in the chat again. Tell me if you've seen it. No. All right, so just to verify. All right, so I just sent, go in the chat. Tell me if you're seeing the link.
But again,
Huh? That's a YouTube link. That was it last week's class. So click YouTube,
okay,
open link. 360 degrees. And it should come up. It's opening. Is it opening, Isabella?
yes, sir.
Oh, okay, good. So this class is taped, so you could always go to YouTube and look at it. All right, okay. So now we have corresponding angles. Right, corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are equal, but for a corresponding angle, all right, so these are two parallel lines. You must have two parallel lines. So to note your corresponding angle, you'll have to look at this angle. So let's call this angle X degrees. The corresponding angle would be here. Because if this is my parallel line P1, and this is the other parallel line P2, on the left of the parallel line is the X, and on the left of the next parallel line is the other X. So they correspond. They correspond. Very similar. They are the similar or the same. Similar. So those are, they correspond. Now, let's say I extended this line. So let's extend it and extend this one. So we make it now even more interesting. So, question to Gabriel. If this is 30 degrees, right? Look at parallel line 2. Where is the next parallel line? Is it at A Is it at B? Is it at C? Or is it at D? Where is the 30 degrees? Where is the angle that corresponds to the 30 degrees, Gabriel?
C.
C. No, that's not right, you know. Watch out this angle, because here what you're telling me. Let me put 30 here. This is on the left of the parallel line.
Oh, it's correct.
So you have to
It-
be watching at that all the time, and you give me something on the right of the other parallel line.
So
Yeah.
it's D.
D, correct. Correct.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So once you understand, that is the most important thing. Once you catch it. Some people catch faster than others, but once you catch it. So left. So just keep that in mind. Anytime we're talking corresponding, you have to, and I'll tell you this is what we call spatial maths. And some people just doesn't see spatial. All right, so don't worry. Right, so this is a 30. All right, so let's look at something. Yeah, let's look at it. Let's change how we have the parallel lines now. So I'm going to keep that parallel line there, that one, and I'm going to put it this way, and then draw a line this way. So my question now for Joanne, this is your question. If this angle here is, all right, everybody give me the answer, put your answer in, send the answer to me privately. If this is 25 degrees, right? Notice this line and this line is parallel. Where is the other parallel line? Is it here, 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 or here? Where is the corresponding 25? Send it in the chat to me. Send it in the chat. I will respond to you privately. Where is the corresponding? So you will tell me. I would either tell you yes or no. And you will try it again. I want the corresponding. Which one correspond? All right, so I'm only going to respond with a yes or no. If you get no, you'll have to do it again. All right, everybody sent to me. Which one corresponds to the 35? Now, let me help you all. Let me help you all with this. Now, the 25, I said 35 is 25. The 25 is at the bottom. Now, if you look at this parallel line, let's call this parallel line tick 1, and this one is tick 2. In tick 1, the 25 is at the bottom right or left. It's at the bottom right or left. Somebody. Bottom right or left of this line? Huh?
Right.
Right or left? Huh?
Right.
Right.
Bottom right. Correct. Bottom right. So now we need to go on top and see where it is. Bottom. Is it bottom right or left? Bottom right. So bottom right, or IGHT. Bottom right will be your answer is Y. Your answer is Y. All right, your answer is what? Y. Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Everybody understands?
Mm.
Isabella, any question?
No, sir.
All right, so let's try one more. Let's try one more. We had one other thing to do. We have interior angles and alternate angles. Those are the last two in this topic. And you could actually do a question for CXC. So next week, I'm actually going to give you, once we finish this, I'm going to give you some CXC questions. Yeah. All right, so let's go. Try this one. Wrong color. Right, so these two lines correspond. Now, you always have to look for that arrow. So I'm going to put the arrows in this way. So they are vertically opposite. Well, sorry, they are parallel lines. So I want you all to tell me, I'm making it really hard, what corresponds to this angle here. So let's call this 49 degrees. So you're going to tell me whether it's A, B, C, D, E, or F. Which one corresponds to the 49? Which one corresponds to the 49 degrees? You send your answer to me, and I'm just going to tell you whether it's yes, your answer is yes or no. Tell me which one corresponds. All I'm going to tell you is yes or no. All right, so I got from Malachi, I got from Gabriel, I didn't get from you. Janicia. Come on, people. Joanne. Who is Rasta? Oh, it's Risha. Oh, yeah.
Hello, sir. I will call my name.
Yeah, did you send the answer? A, B, C, D, E, or F? You send the answer to me, to my WhatsApp? Yeah, sorry, to my Zoom. Right, the Zoom chat. You're sending it to teacher.
So you see my answer in the chat?
That's not, hold on. Teresha. Teresha, am I pronouncing your name properly? Teresha. Or is it Teresa? How do you pronounce your name?
Teresha.
Oh, it's Teresha, right? No?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so everybody sent the answer to me. Teresha, you sent your answer. Gabriel, you had to send over your answer. But
Yes, he's acceptable.
you sent it over? Oh,
Yes.
right. I now see it. I didn't scroll down. But Teresha, I didn't see. I not seen your answer.
So check again. You had answered to it already.
Oh, you had it correct already. Cool. All right, so people, let's look at this one quickly. It's this is the parallel line here. Let me just this is the parallel line, this line and this line. All right, now this is the angle here. It's on the what side? It's on the right. So whatever angle that corresponds to it must be on the same parallel line, but on the right as well. All right, so this is on the right. So B corresponds, it's the same. You have to look for the same. So this is the right. So the answer is B. Everybody okay with that? It's on the right. Listening.
How I could tell if it's in the right, if it's in the middle?
Yeah, well, even though it's in the middle, it's on the right of this green line. All right, let me take this off. This is the line. This is the line. All right. Oops. All right. When I say right, I mean the right of this line. Right. So you're looking at the parallel lines. You're looking at the parallel lines. All right. You're looking at the parallel lines. So what I mean by that is the right of the parallel line. So this is your, oops, this is your parallel line. Oops, this is your parallel line. So I have your parallel, oops.
So how you know which line to thing it from? Because it only left at the other one.
Yeah, but because I'm looking at this line where the 49 is, right? So you have to now go to the other parallel line. So when you're looking at something corresponding, some people put F, but F was not was on the same parallel line. You have to go to the other parallel line. So if this is a parallel line, all right, if this is the parallel line, you have to go to the next one, which is this. You have to go to this parallel line. All right. So it can't be A, it must be B because it's on the other side. That's what I mean by on the right. So for corresponding angles, look at the other parallel line and compare it with the one that was on the first parallel line. So this is my first parallel line. You have to look at what's on the other side. So you have two parallel lines. So the 49 was on the first parallel line. You have to look at the second parallel line. All right, you okay with that? Janicia?
Not really.
No. Uh-oh. All right. All right. So corresponding angles, look at you have to look at the two parallel lines. All right, let me give another example. Let me give another example. A question just now. Let me give another example. Hold on. All right. So in question number 14, they had a triangle. Oh, this is a little heavy. They had in question number 14, they had one line like this. They had one line like this. Another line like this. So question. All right. All right. Are you seeing where the next parallel line is? So you have a parallel line here, and you have a parallel line here. So if I put an angle here on this parallel line, do you stay on this parallel line to find, okay, where is the angle? Is it at A, B, C, or D? Everybody put in the chat. So if this is, let's call this 80. Where's the other 80? Is the other 80 at A, B, C, or D? Put your answer in the chat. So this is the first parallel line. You're not going to look at that. So it cannot be A. It cannot be A. Cannot, because it's on the same parallel line. You have to look at the second parallel line now. So your answer have to be either C or B on the other parallel line. Everybody put your answers in the chat. Put your answers in the chat. So I want to see from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 persons. So I'm looking for 6 answers. I'm seeing 5 so far. So Janicia, let's see. Let me tell you what is the answer, Janicia. Right. So Janicia, you're this is so. Wait. Oh, right. So Risha, your answer is correct. Janicia, your answer is not correct because you have B. It can't be B because it must be in line. Is either B or C? I said so. The answer must be C.
Hmm.
You listening?
So it's like a triangle, and like that line coming across on the other side and making it
Yeah,
look
that
like
was to
two
fool you.
triangles.
Yeah, but
So the
that was
so
to
like
fool you. But
so it
this
kind of giving off that like how it would be the point of the triangle, which part C is,
yeah,
like C and A will be the same because both of them is the point of the triangle on top.
just now. Hold on. Let me get it straight. So this is this. I just want to change the color. So it's this and this you're looking at. The two parallel lines. You're looking at the two parallel lines. So let me say that again. Let's hear just say what you're saying again.
Right. How the line by the second thing is, which part C is,
Yeah.
how it cut it across and making it look like two triangles. So like it
Yes,
making
it's
it look
two
like
triangles.
the
Eh,
point is what it is, which is at the top of the triangle,
Right.
making it look like C will be 80 as well, because at the top of the
Correct.
triangle.
And that's
And that's how
right.
it looks.
But you
Right.
are right. So C is 80. That's correct. Yeah, actually, that's right. So that means that this corresponds. So this is 80 degrees. You're right. That's what I'm saying. C is correct, not B. Did I say B is correct? If I did, I'm sorry. But it's C that is correct. They correspond to each other. They correspond to each other. All right? They correspond. All right, Gabriel, you okay with that? Gabriel. My Gabriel going. Gabriel, you okay with that? Gabriel Thomas, you okay with that? Gabriel going, yes. All right.
Excuse pardon.
I was asking you if you agree with the corresponding, the 80 and the 80.
Because
If you agree with it, that they are corresponding.
yes, sir.
All right. All right, so they correspond. Right, so look at the first parallel line, look at the second parallel line, see where the angle is. One more, people. One more, and we'll call it a evening. One more. One more. So look at this one. It's a little tricky, but you could work it out. I'm looking at question 11, but to remember it, you need to look at your parallel lines. Right? Once you look at your parallel lines, you don't have a problem. Right? You don't already have a problem. So this is parallel to this one. All right. So here is the arrow showing that these two lines are parallel. So if this angle is 130 degrees, where is the corresponding angle to it? Is it A? Is it B? Or is it C? Put your answers in the chat. Where is the corresponding angle? Where is the corresponding angle? Is it A, B, or C? Put your answers in the chat. I'm going to put if it's correct. So come on, people. Malachi, correct. Gabriel, correct. Isabel, correct. Janicia, correct. So I got from Gabriel, Janicia, Isabel, Malachi. So I'm waiting on Joanne and Risha. Risha,
29.
correct. And where is Joanne? Joanna. Joanna going once. Joanna going twice. Come on now, Joanna, man. Come on now, man. What, Joanna? You there? You're sending it to teacher. Joanna? Is Joanna there? All right. So the answer is A. The answer is A. So this is the first parallel line. I think you all are understanding it now. You looked at the first parallel line. It must be somewhere on the second parallel line. All right. And it's A. So this is also 130 degrees. All right. So before we go, I want to let you know just now. Take this down quickly. Interior angles. They add up to 180 degrees. So that's two angles adding up to 180 degrees. So let's say you have a parallel line and another parallel lines. They are inside. They form a C, actually. So look for your C. So this angle here, let's say this is 50. The other angle, they are interior. So interior angle, so this will be 130. All right, so 130 plus 50 will give me 180 degrees. So interior angles add up to 180 degrees. Now, please note that they form a C, or it could be a C this way. So we would have interior angles on the other side. So our interior angle is here, which is 130, and one here, which is 50. They add up. The two angles add up to how much? How much, people? Interior angles add up to how much? Hold on, some minute.
180.
180.
180.
Right? And the last thing that we want to look at quickly before we go is last thing, and I'm not going to give, so alternate angles, because our time is up. So I'm just giving you could go back and look at it. Alternate angles. These are the last two. Alternate angles are equal. They are equal. The two angles are equal. And they form a Z. Or it could be this way. Could be a back to front Z. So let's look at it quickly. Our time is up. So let me show you an alternate angle forming a Z. All right. So if I have an angle, we don't have enough time to do some questions, but I'll give you for home. If this is 30, now watch at my Z. Watch at my Z. Let me show you 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 my Z. So this is 30 degrees. 30 degrees. All right, so this is 30. Everybody seeing the Z?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so if this is 150, where's the other Z? Let me show you where the other Z is. Watch out this Z. It's a strange Z, a slippery Z. All right, so it's a back to front slippery Z, and it's here, the 150. Let's see. So they are called alternate angles. So you have two types of alternate angles. So we just spoke about interior angles forming a C, angles on the inside, and they add up to 180 degrees. And we spoke about alternate angle, which are equal. They are equal, but they form a Z. All right. So that's it for today. People, look out for the homework. Remember, you need to